This is Construction News Tracker from 4constructionpros.com and sponsored by Caterpillar. There appears to be plenty of activity over the federal budget and debt limit controversy in Washington as numerous entities vie for position. More on that coming up. There was quite a colorful gathering on the National Mall in D.C. recently. Some 600 construction workers from various road building companies got together in support of the federal highway bill. Among those speaking at the event was Congressman Nick Rahall, Democrat of West Virginia and ranking member of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee.
Yes, we need to trim the fat, but we don't need to cut the muscle. And that's what job creating in the transportation sector is, the muscle of our budget. It puts our people to work. It creates revenues.
Also at the U.S. Capitol Mall supporting the construction industry, and one of its sponsors was Robert Garmini, president of the Ready Mix Concrete Association, who pointed out the need to get people back to work.
Current unemployment stands at 8 to 9% right now. Right now it's close to 20% in the construction industry. And what this means, quite frankly, is two things. We're having the entire construction industry is suffering through unemployment, and on top of that, we're not getting new roads built. We're
vigilantly watching the U.S. House for any action on the federal transportation budget. A D.C.-based group known as Smart Growth America and Taxpayers for Common Sense has issued a new report claiming that states could reduce highway budgets if they focused on repairing rather than constructing new roads. Couple of sidebars to this story. Florida, poised to transfer $150 million from its transportation fund to its general fund, resulting in thousands of job losses. While on the other hand, Nebraska has voted to increase its state sales tax in 2013 and use those proceeds on road construction. Chances are good that another boost in the price of crude oil could be facing world markets following a contentious meeting of OPEC-producing states recently that failed to reach agreement on increased oil production. Are you hunting for a new set of wheels? Well, you better look carefully at the window stickers, as the federal government has adopted a brand new set of fuel economy and environmental impact disclosure rules for the automakers. The Associated Builders and Contractors met last week and unveiled their latest mid-year construction forecast. And from a glance, it doesn't look very pretty. The housing market will apparently continue to be weak, and the construction unemployment job market remains in a double-digit position. So how does all this fit into the federal debt and economic picture? We asked AGC Chief Economist Ken Simonson for his opinion.
The federal debt ceiling is likely to be reached on August 2nd, according to Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner. What that means is that the U.S. Treasury could no longer borrow additional funds. It could continue to roll over the existing debt, which comes due in pieces every week. And to the extent that new tax receipts came in, spending could be increased by the amount of the tax receipts. This would be the first time that the Treasury was constrained on how much additional debt it could issue. And it comes at a very difficult time because right now the Treasury is spending several $100 billion a year or more than it's taking in, perhaps as much as $1.5 trillion. It's tempting to shut off the spending in order to avoid running up the debt, but we can't just hit the brakes like that. It's more like crashing into a wall if we do that. And if the debt ceiling is reached, then a lot of payments to contractors and to individuals would be cut off immediately. That would have immediate consequences for construction contractors, but much more broadly for the economy. In addition to the impact on people who wouldn't be getting payments that they were due, is the shattering of confidence in the U.S. Treasury to pay its debts. And I think those consequences would be much more devastating for the U.S. economy and ultimately for demand for construction. Construction has already suffered from the cutbacks in federal spending that has occurred to just finish fiscal 2011, a large portion of the spending cuts that were agreed to by Congress and signed by President Obama came out of construction spending accounts. And I think that the likelihood is that there will be further ratcheting back of money to go into highway construction, water and sewer projects, airport construction, Corps of Engineers and General Services Administration projects. Nevertheless, we can't just allow spending to keep rising without making cuts in different areas. AGC is trying to convince Congress that they really need to put more money into investment to keep up infrastructure, even while trying to reduce the deficit with spending cuts in other areas.
Despite the gloomy economic news, there are glitters of hope and encouragement. The Association of Equipment Manufacturers, AEM, has been focusing on positive developments in its series, I Make America.
Ditch Witch truly is an American family success story. Ed's granddaughter, Tiffany Sewell Howard, is the current company leader. However, it's not only the Malzahns who consider this a family shop. Danny Meek has worked at the factory for some 33 years.
I started out in this company as a machinist, making drill pipe, tool joints, those kind of things. And then I've been the quality manager here at the plant, at the facility. I've also then started being the division manager for the machining areas over at the main plant. Here at our facility, I'm the division manager for drill pipe. The real benefits of having a facility like this in around a lot of small towns is the fact that the people, they all know each other, they go to school together, they go to church together. So when they get here, there's already a relationship built there in the communities with those people to do their daily jobs here.
And finally, we leave you with this. When somebody tells you nothing is impossible, tell them to go dribble a football. Standing by with the latest developments, we're Construction News Tracker, brought to you by Caterpillar and produced by 4constructionpros.com, where you can remain informed via our Twitter and Facebook sites, as well as the streaming web from sea to shining sea never stops.